All right, let's talk about digital transformation. I know it's a huge buzzword, right? But let's just forget the buzzword for a minute. Today, we're going to break it down into something actually useful. A practical blueprint for building a smarter, more efficient business. And we'll look at it through the eyes of companies like DataLunix, who actually do this for a living. So yeah, let's dive in.
So let me ask you something. Does this sound familiar? You've got different departments that might as well be on different planets. They just don't talk to each other. You've got critical tasks still being done manually, maybe on some giant, complex spreadsheet. It's just this general feeling that things are, well, way more chaotic than they should be. And you know, as businesses grow, this kind of complexity can really start to hold you back.
And that chaos? That's exactly what digital transformation is meant to fix. It's not just about getting new software. It's about fundamentally rethinking how your business operates using technology. We're not talking about just digitizing the old clunky processes, but creating entirely new, smarter ones that can actually keep up with today's world. So, how in the world do you start to tame all that chaos? Well, it all begins with a solid plan. Seriously, think of it like building a house. You wouldn't just start throwing up walls, right? You need architects to drop the blueprint, and you need builders to actually make it happen. Okay, let's start at the very beginning. The first layer of our blueprint, the digital foundation. I like to call this the engine room. This is the core IT infrastructure that, honestly, everything else in the business depends on. Now, the problem for so many companies is that their IT engine room is, well, it's a bit of a mess. It's often siloed, just reacting to problems as they pop up instead of getting ahead of them. And worst of all, it's totally disconnected from what the business is actually trying to accomplish. To really fix that engine room, you have to get a handle on two key areas. First, there's IT service management, or ITSM. This is the stuff your users actually see. Think of the help desk, getting a new laptop, that kind of thing. Then you've got IT operations management, ITOM. This is all the behind-the-scenes work, keeping the servers, the network, all that stuff healthy and running. So put simply, one side faces the people and the other side faces the machines. And picking the right tool for the job here is absolutely critical. Are you a huge enterprise that needs a powerhouse platform like ServiceNow? Or maybe a more nimble, cost-effective solution is a better fit for where you are right now. This is where the right partner can really help you sift through the options based on what you actually need. And look, you're not just picking some random tool out of a hat. These are serious, industry-vetted platforms. They're recognized by top analysts like Gartner, which really just gives you the confidence that you're investing in something powerful, something relevant, that's going to work. And the result of getting this right, what's the payoff? Well, take a look at this number. £50,000. That is the actual annual cost savings a housing association in the UK saw after they finally moved away from spreadsheets and a bunch of disconnected tools to one unified ITSM platform. Now that is a tangible outcome. Okay, so the engine room is humming along nicely. Now we can build on top of that and focus on the next layer, how technology serves the actual people who interact with your business. And that means both your customers and your employees. And here's the next big puzzle to solve. How do you make sure that your customers are getting that amazing, super responsive support they expect, while also giving your own employees that exact same high-quality experience for all of their internal needs? The solution really comes down to a few specialized areas. You've got CSM for managing customer service, FSM for your technicians out in the field, and HRSD to streamline all those internal requests for things like HR and onboarding. All of this rolls up into this really powerful idea called Enterprise Service Management, or ESM. And the principle behind it is so simple, but so revolutionary. It's just use the same winning strategies from your customer service to make life better for your internal teams. I mean, why wouldn't you treat your own people with the same care you give your best customers? All right, so we've built a solid foundation. We're serving our people really well. It's time to move to the final layer of our blueprint, what I call the control tower. This is what gives your leaders that strategic 30,000-foot view of the entire organization. Because at the executive level, the challenge is totally different. It's all about visibility. How do you keep track of all your assets, every laptop, every software license? How do you decide which big projects get the green light and the resources? Basically, how do you see the whole picture at once? The answer is in pulling together a few key strategic functions. IT Asset Management, or ITAM, gives you control over all your tech. Strategic Portfolio Management, or SPM, helps you align projects with your actual business goals.
And it all connects back to that unified service approach we were just talking about. When you bring them together, you get that single control tower view.
And let me tell you, when you finally connect all these layers, the engine room, the people-focused services, and that strategic control tower, the results can be absolutely transformative. Let's look at a few examples.
Take this, for instance. An automotive manufacturer completely streamlined their customer service process and saw a 97% drop in the average age of a support ticket. That means customer problems were getting solved almost instantly. Huge.
Or how about this? A professional services firm used IT automation to save over 400 hours of manual work every single month. Think about that. That's time their brilliant team can now spend on high-value, strategic work instead of just busy work.
And finally, this one. By unifying all of its internal service delivery, a cloud company achieved a whopping 94% employee satisfaction score. And you know what they say? Happy employees, efficient business. It really is that simple.
Okay, so we've got this amazing technological blueprint. It all makes sense, but that brings up a really important question. Who's actually going to build all this? And who's going to manage it? Because technology is only ever half the equation. You absolutely need the right people. For a lot of companies, the answer is something called staff augmentation. Instead of going through a long, costly, and complicated hiring process, it's a super flexible way to bring in specialized experts for a specific project. It lets you get the exact skills you need right when you need them without all the overhead.
And finding these top-tier experts requires a really smart strategy, something like this race model. It's not about just waiting for people to apply. It's a proactive approach that combines tapping into professional communities for referrals, making agile offers so you don't lose top talent, using all the right channels, and constantly engaging with the talent pool to build relationships.
So we end on this final question. Your digital blueprint is designed. It's perfect. But who are the architects and builders you need to actually bring it to life? Because a blueprint, no matter how good, is just a plan on paper. The real transformation, the real magic, that only happens when you find the right people to make that vision a reality.